Yo, what is up, guys? It is Card Shuffler 99 here. Today, we're going to show you guys a really cool card trick. But before we get into that, we do have a giveaway going on our channel. We're giving away 3 pairs of AirPods. So if you guys want to be entered in this giveaway, first of all, make sure to like this video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Turn those notifications on, which is the bell icon. Make sure to comment at least one time on our YouTube channel. Also, we'll have a link in our description to our Instagram where you got to follow us. And also like our post. And then we also have a link to our Amazon page that will be in the description down below if you guys are interested in getting anything from Amazon, especially since we're in quarantine. We'll have a link in the description where you guys can check out our Amazon website page. And anyways, guys, we got a really cool card trick for you guys today. Let's get right on into it.
I'm going to ask you, go ahead, touch the back of any card. Doesn't matter. This one right here, you sure? You can change it.
No, I want that
All
one.
All right, go ahead. You got the card?
I do have the card.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead, we'll take your card, place it somewhere, maybe right there. Go ahead. And then place it in the middle of here. Go ahead, we can push your card in, and we can show you that your card has actually been controlled to the top of the deck. So that is the first card controls, guys. And let's go ahead and we can learn how to do this card control. We have not done this card control before on the channel. We've done a variation of this card control. There's many variations of this, actually. So we're going to show you guys this variation of it. It's pretty cool. And let's go ahead and learn how to do it. So what you're going to do, guys, is you're going to start off by spreading out the deck. Now, what you're going to do, this one actually controls the card to the top of the deck. And let's go ahead. So what you're going to do is you're going to start out by spreading out the cards, and you're going to have the spectator touch any card. Now, it doesn't matter what card they touch. Make sure you at least get a couple cards in. So, at least, maybe 5-10 cards in. At least this amount, because, then the card controls, try to maybe, you can even block push it if you want, but just try to make sure they're picking it, at least 5 to 10 cards, below the top of the deck. From there, and make sure they just don't go all the way to the bottom, or else this card control, won't exactly look too good. So make sure you're doing this card control. Make sure it's somewhere in the middle. It can't be the last, 2 cards or something like that. It won't look as good, or the top, 3 cards. So make sure they pick it, somewhere from the middle. Doesn't really exactly matter where it is from the middle. And let's go ahead. So let's go ahead. You start spreading out the cards, and you're going to look, and they're going to say, let's say they touch this one right here. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, whichever one they touch. So let's say they touch this one right here. You're going to push the card behind it out, pretty far with it. So basically what you're going to do is when they're spreading it, right, you're going to have, when you take this hand away, you need to have the card they actually touched, and then the card that, it's actually the card that they're really going to be selecting. You'll see why in a little bit. What's happening is when you're gonna show them the card like this, right? You're gonna show it like that. You're actually dragging your thumb back like this when you do this. So basically, what's happening is you're gonna go ahead. You're gonna drag this card back while doing this motion right here. So clearly, you guys can see there's the 7 of spades right here, right? That's the card they actually selected. But when you do this move, right? When turning your hand like this, right? They're going to think their selection is the king of clubs, right? So basically what's happening is you're dragging this card behind, so you're going to hide this card, and then they're going to go ahead, take a look, and they're going to see their card's the king of clubs. When you come back down, you're actually going to push this card back out, and they think this card right here is actually going to be the king of clubs, but the king of clubs is actually right here. So let's go ahead in a little more detail about that. So once again, you're going through. They touch any card. So let's go ahead. They're touching this one right here. You're going to push that card out and the card behind it pretty far out to a decent distance. So let's say the reason why you have to push the second card out pretty far is because let's say you leave the second card, right here, right? When you do the move, they're not really going to be able to see the cards that well. So you really want it to stand out. So if you have the cards like right here, the second card right here, and you do the move, it's not going to work. You have to make sure it's pretty far out, so when you do the move, there's only one card, standing out. And that's clearly the Jack of Clubs in that situation. So once again, guys, what you're doing is you're here. They touch any card. Let's go ahead. Let's say they touch this one right here. I'm going to push out the card behind it, a decent amount. Doesn't matter how much card, how far, but yeah, a decent amount. So let's go with this one right here. When you bring the card to show it to them, you're going to drag this card even with the deck and bring it back here. So here, just like that. So this is what's happening. Just like that. In slow motion right there. So basically that's all that's happening right in this motion right here. Clearly they won't be able to see it because it's hidden from them. So after you do this move, you're showing it to them. They're going to see, oh, king clubs, that's my selection, right? Then when you bring your hand back down, as you can see right here, you're going to push the card back out. And remember, they can't see this because they're over there. And they're looking, you know, they don't see that move right there. So from here, what you're going to do is you push it back out. You're going to take their card. You're going to place it somewhere in the middle of here. And remember, their actual selection's right here. And then what I do is I open up the deck. I get a good grip with my thumb. Open up the deck just like this. And you place these cards in here. Now, guys, you do have a couple options. You can do it really any way you want. But after you do that one part, you just make sure this card stays on the top of the deck. So when you're right here, so you do the move, right? Blah, blah, blah. You know, 2 diamonds, right? 2 diamonds right here. After you put this in, if your hands aren't big enough, guys, we understand. So when you're in this situation, you guys can simply just push this card in. And if you need to, you can go ahead, place the deck down, actually lift up, and place these cards inside of there like that in case you guys cannot do that move. So that's just another way you guys can do that. Just, you know, I know some of you guys out there cannot, you know, lift up with your thumb like that. So it makes it a little bit easier instead of having to do that. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and we're going to move on to the second card control. Save a little bit of time. You guys actually did request a little more in-depth tutorial on how to do this one. So, guys, basically this is what you're going to be doing is this is what the card control looks like in slow-mo. So, basically, it's a little bit of an exposed view. You're going to be pushing the card in, and this card controls it to the bottom, and you're going to be pulling the card out and controlling it to the bottom. You guys want a little more detail on this, so let's go ahead and give you guys a little more detail. And this controls the card to the bottom. There are a couple of tricks that actually involve this move, and actually the first part of the move, which is known as the side angle jog, is the part you should also, most of you guys should learn. So what you're going to do is you have your card selected. It doesn't matter what card is selected. Go ahead, let's take the Jack of Hearts. Now what's going to happen, guys, is you're going to take the selection and you're going to place it somewhere into the middle of the deck, just like that. Now you're going to push it in. Don't leave the card out here, and don't put the card in too much. All right, you need the card, you know, probably around halfway out of the deck, and then okay. So like from here, once you know it's right there, that's perfect right there. From here, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to take your middle finger from your opposite hand and you're going to push directly down. But first of all, the grip, just middle finger and thumb at the top of the deck, just like that. Rest of the fingers, just get out of the way for this part. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, take your middle finger from your opposite hand, and you're going to push straight down on this corner. So what happens is when you do that, when you push straight down on the corner, it will put this card on an angle. Now, when you're doing this from an angle like this, what happens is it makes it look like the card is going into the deck, right? But clearly, you'll have your other fingers around, which will hide the move, and you'll be in the position like this. So after you push the card in directly down, remember, this is very angle sensitive. So you're going to push the card in directly down, just like this. You're going to be in the angle, you're going to be positioned like this. What you're going to do is you're going to take your pinky finger, my bad there, guys, and you're going to put with your ring finger and middle finger, you're actually going to grip this card in a position that looks like this. And what this position is, your thumb's on this corner of the card, and then you're gripping it with these 3 fingers right here. You're going to be pulling the card out with your fingers like this, just like that, and you're going to bring it to the bottom of the deck. Now let's go into a little more detail on that. So you push the card in, right? You're going to use your thumb. You're going to grip the cards. You're going to go ahead, bring the card even with the deck like this. And when you pull the card out, guys, you're going to grip it just like that. I mean, pretty simple. You're just going to grip it like this. When you're doing this part, do not go straight down. Hear that, guys? That sound, you don't want to hear that sound when doing this. So basically, when you're doing this, right, you go ahead, you do it, All right, you're doing it. Pull out to the side first. So when you're doing it, my bad there, guys. Pull out to the side, like directly that way first, and then bring it to the bottom of the deck. So instead of going straight down, so it doesn't make a noise like this, guys. So instead of going like that, that's going to make a noise. So make sure you pull it out parallel to the deck. And yeah, from there you'll be good. So from here, push in one more time, guys. What you're going to do is you're going to be in this position right here. You're going to go ahead, grip the cards, pull it out like this. Make sure it's parallel to the deck. Once it's completely out of the deck, you're going to go ahead. You're going to curl it back down to the bottom of the deck and square up the deck. And clearly when you're doing this move, you need to be doing it on an angle like this. So this way, it just looks like the card just went into the middle. Clearly I'm pulling out the card right here. And then you're just going to bring it to the bottom and square up the deck. And they're not going to be able to see anything from an angle like this. Now, clearly you don't want to be doing it over here, because then, you know, it's going to flash. So those are the two card controls. You can control it to the top or the bottom. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. And this is Card Shuffler 99. Peace out.